Football in the second half. So Fozzie Whitaker stands back, and this one banged into his own end zone, and Whitaker will bring it out a couple of yards deep. And he's out across the 20, leapfrogs his way across the 30, and is tapped right there. After the turn of the new year, it's taken a long while to get back. They hand it to Stewart. Mentioned the best game of the year for Newton. It was also the best game of the year a week ago for Jonathan Stewart. Second down and 6, and standing tall in the pocket, and there is Olsen, his first reception, and this is his first game. You just get it off before the play clock, and Newton throws into coverage. It's batted into the air and nearly intercepted. Screen all on the field at the same time, and they fake the run, and they put it in the air, and the catch is made, and it's good enough for a first down to Devin Funchess.
Both of them are thumpers.
Make it one way, Can throws it the other, and it's incomplete. It'll bring up second down and 10.
They expected him to grow and mature.
Read option there, try to strip it out of the right hand of Newton.
Cam Newton.
Third down and 3. Panthers number 1 in the NFL converting on third down, but this one batted away. Nicely done by Buster Skrine, who's had a rough year. And they will go for it. They snap it and throw it, and they convert, finding McCaffrey inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line. 58th reception of the year for McCaffrey, and they put it in his hands via the ground, and he is smothered at the line of scrimmage. McCaffrey cuts it back to the inside, leaps over one defender, still on his feet.
Offense. You have to sign somebody to Cam.
11th play of the drive. They're looking for the home run ball in the end zone, and it's broken up, and again it's Buster Skrine in coverage of Devin Bush. 21, they're going to attempt a 40-yard field goal. Graham Gano right down the middle, and on their opening drive. Not a better way to wrap it up than a Sunday full of football here in the National Football League. JoJo Natson from the goal line brings it out across the 20. Good return by Natson. And run out of bounds at the 30-yard line, and we check in for the first time today back in Los Angeles, all the way back in 2002 for Arizona. And on first down, he's going to throw it and fires into triple coverage, nowhere near the intended receiver. And Matt Forte is back for the first time. He was inactive 2 weeks ago in their loss against the Buccaneers, and that'll be a loss of a yard. 5-man rush coming after McCown, and he delivers a strike, and that is a third down win indeed. Carolina franchise has nightmares remembering postseason games with Jermaine Kearse. And this time it is Robbie Anderson. The reception to the 30-yard line. Nice plays, long completions on the backside, and this is McGuire, Elijah McGuire, the rookie out of Louisiana Lafayette, becoming more and more a part of this Jets offense. Has over 1,300 yards from scrimmage this year. That's the third most of any running back trio tandem in the NFL. Nice run there by Powell. Move the chain that last run, and this is Forte's first carry. And he is inside the 20 and shoved down to the 17-yard line.
The backfield, and those guys are such a danger.
And a good blocker there. And the catch is made by the big fella, Lawrence Thomas. They fake it to Powell. They're going to throw it to the end zone. And it is a touchdown. No, it is not a touchdown. Oh, my goodness. That was a guy you said they'd be looking for. Oh, man. That was on third down and 2 feet. And it forces a field goal try, which is good from 31 yards away by Catanzaro. Short kick this time, and Whitaker coming up to get it at the 2-yard line. And covered very, very well by the Jets up to the 21.
Guy's also a big factor.
They pitch it to Stewart, who bobbles it, tries to find the handle, and is able to fall on top of it. Feelman a little bit about him after this second down and 18 for the Panthers. Good protection for Newton, and lets it fly. What a catch by Funchess, coming back to get it. And he just flat out beat Buster Screen. 27, Darrell Roberts, third-year corner out of Marshall. And here's Newton. And he'll just take a seat. I mean, right on his tail with Steve McClendon.
Practice, there's no mistake of who's in charge.
Newton lets it fly, and he had a wide-open Ed Dixon, who's been filling in for the injured Greg Olson.
They like to blitz on third down.
Heated up to the 44. Here comes the blitz. And Newton is finally dropped all the way back to the 21-yard line. Here they come to try and get that punt, and they just didn't miss it. Able to get away, and it's a good one by Pilardi. All the way back to the 20-yard line, and it will roll inside the 20. Down to the 15. 3-yard score. Put it in the hands of Powell, and somehow is able to sneak through that very stingy Panthers defense, and it's up to the 30-yard line. 2. And McCown is sacked back at the 21-yard line by Shaq Thompson. There is a penalty flag on the field. McCown was sacked 6 times in that game.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Number 26, defense. 5-yard penalty and automatic. First down.
That's a second-year corner, Daryl Worley.
On that, anything to the face and dropping the flag.
Give it to Elijah McGuire, and maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
Well, he has taken a lot of hits so far this year. Forte going nowhere, dropped for a 1-yard loss, so it'll bring up third down and 11. Set to begin the second quarter. And a blitz coming, the Jets pick it up. And now McCown having to run it. And he'll be denied first down yardage. Lachlan Edwards stands back at his 25-yard line, and waiting is McCaffrey. Fair catch, fielded cleanly at the 14, and settle for a field goal. They'll turn, and rather than pitch it to Stewart, that was a disaster on first down. Just 19 rushing yards for Carolina. That's an easy pitch and catch to Funchess as he beats Screen for a first down to the 31. There is a flag.
Below the knee.
Personal foul.
Right away.
Roughing the passer. Number 56, defense. 15 yards will be added to the end of the play. Automatic. First down.
That's been their best defensive issue for this New York Jets team all year long. Coming the other way. They put it in the hands of Kalen Clay. And he's inside the 30 and finally wrestled down to the 24-yard line by Marcus May.
He got a little anxious.
That's Stewart inside, activated and played him in games. Second down, and Newton, good protection. Throws a missile to Funchess and tried to tiptoe along the sideline, and he's out of bounds. A first down, first and goal, Carolina.
Develop timing, rhythm, and trust.
Gonna hand it to McCaffrey. He's looking for a hold, and being shoved towards the goal line. He'll be about a yard and a half short. Stewart leaping over the top, and still no signal given yet. He appears to be just short. Third down and goal. They're 0 for 3 today. And it'll be Newton who will stiff arm his way into the end zone. Shoved aside, Bruce Carter.
Is to keep Cam Newton in his sights, but when you're that type of athlete and have that length, there's no way you're going to stop Cam Newton from the half-yard line.
And nowhere close on the point after is Graham Gano, just his second miss all year.
Go grab one out of the bag. Kid won't care.
This one hammered. An undefeated Wisconsin Badgers team. Huge college football playoff implications, and that one is his Curse. You know, we talked about the Panthers having nightmares about Jermaine Curse.
Force for the Jets. A nice 1-2 combination with Robbie Anderson.
Matt Forte off the left side, healthy again, and he's up to the 41-yard line.
Against a good team like the Panthers with a quarterback that's playing really well, Cam Newton.
McCown, good protection, and he can let it fly. And contact down there at the 15-yard line, but no flag. Seymour in coverage. Tampa Bay getting a much-needed win 2 weeks ago against these Jets. That ball batted at the line of scrimmage on a 3rd down, and the Jets will punt it away. It's Carolina defense number 2 in the NFL. In overall total defense, McCaffrey going to take it north and south, and a wise decision. A regular blitz and a zone blitz.
If they don't eat.
And Newton slides down up to the 27-yard line.
As far as the type of hits he takes.
You know, it was interesting talking with Ron Rivera yesterday as Newton's going to throw it, and he's going to airmail this one to Funchess way out of bounds, nowhere near the intended target, but conversion on 4 third down attempts was a touchdown run by Newton. Crossing pattern, and Funchess will not get there. What a nice play made right there by the rookie out of Florida.
Games.
Jamal Adams, a first-round pick out of LSU. Marcus May, the second-round pick out of Florida. Starting safeties for the New York Jets. Running the wrong way is JoJo Natson.
Opening up those running lanes.
Handed off to Powell, and he is met immediately by the 13-year veteran Thomas Davis. Let's check in with Peter Schrager.
Interviews last year.
They roll, and well short on the throw was McCown to Jermaine Curse. See, McCown has been very good on 3rd down so far this year, but this is no ordinary defense. And that one sails high into double coverage with an eye on Safarian Jenkins and Kuechly in coverage. Very good Los Angeles Rams team. That'll be late this afternoon. And McCaffrey on the line drive punt from his own 43. And he is wrapped up and spun down at the Jets 49. On the Jets side of the 50. McCaffrey into the secondary. And one man to beat. And he is shoved down at the 10-yard line.
Develop and shoot through it.
And also a good block by Norwell. They try to find Funchess in the back of the end zone. Incomplete. 3 tight ends in a game. And this is a design run for Newton, and this didn't fool anybody. And there are penalty flags, couple of them. Not sure if that's part of this penalty or not.
Hands to the face. Number 82, offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
That was on Mannery. 40-yard run, they called it, by McCaffrey. And now it is second down and goal from a 19. And Newton able to get inside the 15, but it brings up 3rd down and goal. Darren Lee wrapped him up. 15. Looking to Olsen, and he missed him. Greg Olsen was open in the corner of the end zone.
Because he's late on the throw.
Field goal all year long. Hit from 40 already today, and this one is good. Another great kickoff by Gano. And the Jets get it at the 25-yard line. McCown just 1 for his last 6. And he finds Robbie Anderson.
He's as quick as he's ever been.
Sign me up for that. You and Thomas Davis are the only ones who seem to be going in that direction.
Yeah.
Vernon Butler there on the stop. 3rd down and 5. And that's a tough completion right there. I mean, that's just great coverage by Bradbury on Anderson. Raised a lot of eyebrows last year when they decided not to bring back Josh Norman. They drafted 2 rookies and immediately put both of them into the starting lineup. They took a few lumps last year. And they really played well this year. Play is dropped at the 24-yard line. Played at Clemson Stadium on the campus of Clemson University. And now Newton under duress. Wide open, and he couldn't get it there as he was being chased by Leonard Williams. He had Olsen again wide open. Pressure, and Williams was coming in to try and clean up Newton. 2nd down and 10. Crossing pattern and incomplete. That ball tipped, it appeared, in the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 10. Jets trying to get it back before halftime. Great protection this time. And now Newton will roll right, looking down the field, and just throws it away. Nobody open. Now the Panthers will punt it away. And coming up, bobbling the ball, but able to cover it up immediately is Natson.
Green here. Loosen him up. There we go.
And they run the screen. And Powell still on his feet. Is finally tracked down by Kuechly, and a flag comes in late.
Illegal block in the back. Number 16, offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's a rookie receiver. We're at the 2-minute warning. Jets have one timeout remaining. And after having a penalty take away the big gain on the screen to Powell, 7 of 18, 86 yards. And that is a first down reception just short of midfield made by Robbie Anderson. 135 and counting down the middle of the field. That's what you brought up earlier, Chris Spielman. That was a soft part of this Carolina defense on the first drive, and Kuechly is livid.
We live a little bit of Thomas Davis. There's no reason to let him free release up the middle inside. That's too easy.
All right, after the spike, gets at the 32-yard line. McCown looking for the end zone, and Anderson in double coverage. He came down with the ball, but did he get both feet in? It's a touchdown to Robbie Anderson.
Great effort. Robbie Anderson fighting for the football. 1-2. You can see it from that angle. They had a great angle. This is a double move right here. I'll tell you, I love the fact that Bradbury didn't jump on it. Mike Adams maybe a little bit, but a well-thrown ball where Robbie Anderson goes and competes for that football.
Receptions a year ago.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
And now has a touchdown in 5 consecutive games. Robbie Anderson.
Just jumps off sides. Let's see if they got illegal motion on him.
Encroachment, number 90, defense. That 5-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Point after to make it a 2-point spread, and it is good by Chandler Catanzaro. And a minute 12 until halftime to try and add to this 2-point lead. And the drive will start from the 25, and what's coming up is if they just turn around and hand it off. They're not going to. They're going to put it up down the field to Olsen. And again, maybe a fraction late on the throw by Newton. There is a penalty flag behind the line of scrimmage.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Buffalo game came back against Tampa Bay, but then re-injured the foot in the Buccaneers game early on. And after the penalty, the Panthers will hand it off to McCaffrey. 30 seconds to play until halftime. And McCaffrey once more. And he'll be wrapped up first by Wilkerson and joined at the tail end of the play after Wilkerson initially got him. And the Jets started well on offense, finished well on offense. There's a bouncing ball to JoJo Natson, and now he has some room to run. To begin the second half, out over the 25 to the 27-yard line. And let's go downstairs to Peter Schrager.
Backer.
Lawrence Thomas in motion. He'll throw it on first down. And too tall for even Safarian Jenkins, and that's saying something, who goes 6 feet 5 inches. Second down and 10. They'll turn and hand it off to Powell. And he pushes forward up to the 30, a gain of 3. 3rd and 7 coming up. Charles Davis through the heartland of America. And a big sack on the backside from Mario Addison. And it seemed like we were calling games at some point in time when he was pretty much hanging on. Panthers brought him in, and he has been a sack machine. 34 of them in the last 5 years. Play up to the 25-yard line of this second half for Carolina, and they give it to Jonathan Stewart. We mentioned earlier that coming in, the Panthers
a threat down the field every play.
And you see the 115 rushing yards as Stewart is met right at the line of scrimmage, so to bring up 3rd down. Bear in mind,
not moved by the Jets. It's your best cover guy in that guy.
That early movement on the left side, it looked like Matt Khalil. It has not been a good year for Matt Khalil.
75, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Yep. 3rd down and 11 for Newton, and he just airs it out down the sideline, and great coverage by Morris Claiborne, the former Dallas Cowboy. Step for step with Kalen Clay.
The good pressure on Cam Newton.
And you like what Todd Bowles did this week with his defensive backs with all the holding penalties they've had of late.
I do. You know what he did? All you DBs, take tennis balls.
On Thanksgiving against the Washington Redskins. Elijah McGuire, a nice run. That'll be a gain of 9 on first down. And let's check in downstairs. A class reunion. Now the Jets with the football and looking to try and take a lead in this one. That is still McGuire. Spun down to the 45, and we wait on the penalty flag. This is probably coming back.
As a defense.
Number 67, offense, 10-yard penalty, remains second down.
As a that direction.
A holding penalty on Brian Winters. He had 2 in a loss to Tampa Bay last week. Screen to the tight end, Safarian Jenkins. Well, look at Kuechly, that closing speed to drag him down. Forced him to miss one game. But when he's on the field, this is some kind of defense and some kind of cross up there. Completion made to Jermaine Kearse, and that'll be a first down. First down, and that blitz was coming and nearly breaking deep into the secondary there. That was one tackle away from a home run ball from Matt Forte. Wes Horton able to make a big stop there. They come right back with a screen. Kuechly saw it coming a mile away, and flags come down from 2 different officials on the field.
Holding. Number 76.
These penalties.
10-yard penalty.
It's the second most penalized team in the league of the Jets. Let's
back to Tyrod Taylor.
It was after Peterman threw, 5 interceptions a week ago, his first start, and they had to go back to Taylor inside that same game.
Down here in the slot.
McCown throws too high. It would not have been enough for a first down. 2 good drives on this game. Flag down. Play a fair catch, and then he'll let it bounce, and it's into the end zone.
Not at this point.
Offside. Number 97, defense. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
Edwards is very good pinning teams inside the 20, and he'll do it again with a fair catch at the 14-yard line. Newton 1 for his last 8, 0 for his last 6, and that one should have been caught by Clay. I think it's safe to say Carolina was planning on Curtis Samuel, their number 2 pick out of Ohio State, to be that guy, and then he injures his ankle last week. You know what is interesting, and through all the talk, and then Samuel gets hurt. Blitz coming, and Newton is dropped. What a defensive effort this has been today for the Jets.
Paul Adams, he gets credit and assist for that, forcing him to pull that ball down. Ooh.
That's a 3rd time the Jets have just missed blocking a Carolina punt. And trying to stay on his feet is Natson, and he'll be dropped at the 32-yard line.
Here's the thing with blocking punts.
So now the pendulum swings the other way for the Jets. Forte spins out of a tackle, but then runs into a host of defenders who slam him to the deck, and unwisely so. In the NFL, the
Personal
mistake
foul,
here.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 92, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
That's Vernon Butler. Battled through a lot of injuries as well, to be fair, and now McCown steps out of trouble, looking down the field, and he is going to let it fly, and that is Anderson, and a touchdown!
As he's driven out of the pocket. And watch his left hand pointing to Robbie Anderson. Hey, go deep. As far as you can go. I'll get it to you. And the ball is perfectly thrown to Robbie Anderson.
So did he go out of bounds here?
Right. And it looks like he's still in bounds. From that angle, you can't see it.
Be the first to touch, that would be a foul.
The ruling on the field stands.
So there you have it, Dean Blandino. Thank you very much. That is a 54-yard touchdown.
Touchdown.
Catanzaro, the point after, is good. Just snuck it inside the right upright.
Great players don't need to campaign for themselves. Your actions speak louder than your words.
Whitaker will take a knee. Cameron Artis-Payne in the backfield. He had 7 carries for 68 yards and a touchdown in game-winning streak. Carolina had a tough time and nowhere close to the intended receiver as Davis was in coverage over there with McCaffrey. Taps 3rd down and 10. Putting it up for grabs, and Funchess, a big reception as he beats Darryl Roberts all the way down to the Jets' 40-yard line. The best of his career, up over 100 yards today. And they're looking down the sideline, and he had it looked like. They're picking on Roberts over there. And 10. Jets leading by 5 with 4:20 to go here in the 3rd quarter. And McCaffrey only for a couple of yards.
Wilkerson, Pennell.
It's been Funchess or bust. And that same holds true. Now he looks like a yard short of a first down here, maybe 2.
It's his first read. Right there.
Yep. And that was a free play. That was an incomplete pass, but I think Carolina's going to get the first down on a penalty here. It looked like the Jets jumped off sides, and that would be what the Jets have been doing all year.
Number 48, defense. That 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
So incomplete pass, but it turns into an automatic first down after the penalty. And now Newton all day to throw. McCaffrey's wide open. And he's inside the 15, inside the 10, inside the 5, and he tries to barrel into the end zone and about a half a yard shy. Talking about a guy 5'11", 205. And Manholz, the tight end, leading the way for Stewart and blown dead before it ever got off the ground.
False start, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Caught a pass since. In his first game back since week 2, and now another penalty comes down. Yeah, the penalty on Carolina.
On the defense, half the distance to the goal, remains first down.
And Stewart will be bottled up at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and goal.
Taylor Moton comes in and.
Yep, there it was. And Stewart will barrel his way into the end zone. A touchdown for Jonathan Stewart. And the punt is good.
Yes. Guys inside. Trey Turner, Norwell. Everybody doing a good job of creating. Oh, my. Trey Turner bending his guy backwards.
Caffrey alongside Newton in the backfield. And Newton to throw it. Quick slant. And did Dixon get into the end zone? They're saying he did not.
But it only takes 15 minutes to see how much you could save on car insurance with Geico.
So now the Jets will go back to work, and that's throwing into tough coverage right there. Good coverage by Daryl Worley.
Red 80! Reset!
Lawrence Thomas, a fullback in motion. 2nd down, Addison right on and thrown into coverage. And that was nearly intercepted by Kuechly.
Wooding on the play. That's how he was there to able to cover that fumble.
3rd down and a wobbler. That ball was either tipped or the arm was hit at the line of scrimmage. A flag does come down, however, in the secondary.
He is.
Pass interference. Number 27, defense, automatic.
Yeah.
First down.
80! Reset!
Down under a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. And clearly a misread by somebody there.
Well, here it's by Curse right there. He didn't get the audible. Did you hear the kill?
Red 80! Reset!
Handed off to Forte. And the pile pushes him up to the 39-yard line. We have one more play.
Here to New York, and right now I don't think the Panthers have played their best football.
Crossing pattern to Curse, and they connect this time, and now he springs loose. Caught from behind to the 18-yard line by Thomas Davis is Curse.
Now to finish. There's our opportunity.
Only the Colts with a bigger point spread in the red. 2nd down and 5, and they're going to throw it. And to the end zone looking for a penalty flag, and there it is. That'll be on Worley trying to stay with
They're going to go back
Pass
to him.
interference. Number 26 defense. Automatic. First down.
Powell checks into the backfield, and they're going to throw it on 1st and goal from the 1 and just throw it away.
Not a bad call. Not a bad call. I'm a big advocate of throw it on 1st and run.
And they're going to throw a jump ball. And is it a touchdown? It is a touchdown for Safarian Jenkins.
The touchdown is under review.
Well, every scoring play is under review.
Going to the ground to make the catch. The key is going to be he's in bounds. The right knee lands in bounds. Watch the football. Does it come loose when he hits the ground? His hands appear to maintain contact with the football, but they're going to have to determine whether he lost control. This looks too close to change, at least from the angles we've seen so far.
After review, the receiver did not maintain control of the ball throughout the process of the catch. He went out of bounds. It is an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd down.
Oh, we're going to throw it again. Or is a 38-year-old going to run it? They throw it 3 downs in a row on 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. And here's a field goal try from 19 yards away. It is good by Catanzaro. And the bottom line is touchdown pass.
I thought it was slight movement.
Ozzie Whitaker will take a knee. Cam Newton going to throw it on 1st down, and he's looking for a big one. And just a little bit late. 9 yards. He does have a touchdown. He's hit on just 10 of 26. And Newton's going to run it. And he will dive up to the 32-yard line, bringing up 3rd down and 3 for the Panthers, Peter Schrager. So it's 3rd down and 4 for Newton and the Panthers. And he missed an open McCaffrey again. Newton has had a terrible day with his accuracy. You know, you almost wonder if that thumb injury throughout this entire week, there's maybe a little more something to it when the Panthers were leading on. And this is Natson. And very good field position for the Jets, who lead by 2. And now the Jets with the lead and the ball. They pitch it to Powell. And look at Kuechly come get him 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
So if you're a team of superstars on defense.
Panthers have only sacked McCown 1 time today. Blitz coming here and make it. Is that a fumble or did he throw the ball? Ball still, and it is Kuechly who scoops it up, and he will race into the end zone.
.96 is going to come free. Bilal Powell does not get him. It looked like McCown tried to flick the ball. Gratuitous bounce to Kuechly and shows his athletic ability, not falling on it.
And McCaffrey in motion. And they're rolling, and Newton will run it himself. And he somersaults into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
Of course, Luke, like we said, somebody on the defense needs to step up. Why not Luke Kuechly?
By the way, that is his 2nd career touchdown for Kuechly. His other came
Vikings last week.
A lot of people still wondering, are you buying into the Rams? Kuechly's just scooped up a fumble and raced 33 yards for a touchdown, putting Carolina in front. So a 3rd down and 5 coming up. And smothered is McCown. And that's his draft classmate. Out today, 2 of them have come, however, these last 2 possessions. And now a punt to give Carolina the football back. And it is Clay with running room to the outside. He's down the sideline. 1 man to beat it is a touchdown for Kalen Clay. My, oh my, what a turn of events on the Kuechly fumble return. And now the Clay punt return for a touchdown of 61 yards.
An element that's not present at that return position or wide receiver position, and that is flat out speed with a pirouette. Then just off to the races, no problem running out Edwards and into the end zone.
Into a touchdown, they get a 2-point conversion, and now a punt return as Newton throws a fastball that is incomplete. Trying to pick up a 2nd straight 2-point conversion to Devin Funchess.
So go a little tempo if you're the Jets.
And Natson will take a knee. Still a long way to go. Those are the moves where, you know, a general manager really at the end of the day. I mean, you talk about all the big sexy moves. I mean, how hard is it to go sign player X?
Say you're 17-1 without Kelvin Benjamin.
And here's Kuechly yet again. And you can hear even some of the Carolina fans here in the Meadowlands. And now McCown going to be forced to put it up, and he's going to run. There's nothing but green in front of him. And he will run all the way close to midfield, tiptoeing out of bounds at the 47-yard line. That's a nice pickup. First down from the 47-yard line. They're going to pitch it to McGuire. Cuts it back to the inside. Elijah McGuire. A gain of close to 10 on first down, and we send it to Carissa Thompson in Los Angeles.
Never like to see any player injured on any team.
Quick flip. And trying to turn the corner is Natson. Now McCown on 3rd down and 2. And what a catch that is inside the 20. I mean, you can't do it any better than that by Robbie Anderson.
I'm throwing him open because of the read of the corner.
Quick slant, and the catch is made by Curse. And he is inside the 5-yard line, probably spotted at the 4. It'll be 1st and goal for the Jets. 40 seconds, or 35 seconds anyway, before they snap it again. And a throw to the corner, and it is a touchdown for Jermaine Curse.
Nice answer. Nice answer by the Jets. He had Hansen wide open right there, but he chose to throw it to Curse, who was wide open by NFL standards, and delivers a perfect ball to keep the Jets within striking distance.
Well, you're right about what an answer that was by the Here's Chandler Catanzaro. And it is a 5-point game with 5:32 to go. He is watching, and that one is to the back of the end zone, and taking a knee down there is Fozzie Whitaker. We know the Bills have won their game already. Jonathan Stewart going to wrap that football up. Perhaps the single biggest defensive series of the year for the Jets, and Newton on a keeper. And he will be caught from behind. It'll bring up 3rd down, and depending on a spot, 3rd down and a yard. In the back of the eye, they hand it to Stewart. And he gets enough for a 1st down to the 36-yard line. Down. That was Kalen Clay. And now on 1st down, it will be Newton. And he will dive forward up to the 39-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4 on 1st down for Newton as we close in on 3 minutes to go. Now it is 2nd down with 3:12 to go. And Newton's going to throw it on 2nd down. And that is Dixon, the tight end. And he's across midfield to the 48-yard line from Tyler Larson. He'll turn and hand it to Stewart, who's tripped up behind the line of scrimmage by Jordan Jenkins. Stewart again. And he is met head-on by Josh Martin. And another timeout in defense. Newton to throw it on 3rd down. And he is looking for Funchess, who tried to sneak in behind Claiborne. It's incomplete, and a flag comes in well after the throw was made by Newton.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 98.
Oh my goodness.
15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
And tried seemingly everything to convince his team that penalties are not going to win you football games, and the only team that's been penalized more than the Jets in the NFL this year is Seattle.
Them on the field. That's self-implosion.
And now the Panthers are just hoping to take care of the football. On a carry by Stewart.
It's like Carolina, if you do that. That's just fact.
Stewart will break it to the outside, stay in bounds naturally. We're trying to strip it away. Our game directed today by Greg Scopatone. 45-yard try by Graham Gano. And it is good. Just snuck it in the left upright. And 15.
No, that's a good coach. He doesn't get the credit because, you know, and he even told us, people think I'm stoic on the sidelines.
Down in a 2-point conversion from tying it up. Out of timeouts, however, the Jets. And this is McGuire breaking tackles. And he's up to the 39. They got to hurry up and get it to the line of scrimmage. Play off. Yep, spike it. 2 seconds left, and now they'll just... All right, so be a 4-man rush. Here we go. A little razzle-dazzle now coming your way. Well, so much for razzle-dazzle.
Already?
Wow. So the Jets let this one get away, and a couple of penalties just absolutely kill them, and a couple of drops on would-be touchdowns. One that was a straight drop, the other overruled on a replay. And the Panthers go to 8-3 with a 35-27 win.